Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today we're going to be working from the Dishoom cookbook, and we're making something that I've been planning to make, wanting to make for a really long time, because it goes with like a lot of things in this book that I've wanted to make to have with it, but a lot of times I just end up having way too much to do and don't have time to film that, so I end up buying it. All that to say, we're making naan today. We're going to make a plain naan. We're not going to use it for anything in this book this time, and there are some other versions. You can make a cheese, a garlic, or crispy sesame and onion naan, but we're just going to be making a plain naan today. Maybe not. We'll see. But I just want to get this going because it's going to take at least 3 hours before we can even bake it, and it's almost 4 o'clock. So good thing we're not really on a tight schedule. Nobody's waiting for us. And it's the Super Bowl night, and we're going to have it with a dip that I've made. So it's just us. And so if it's late, it's whatever. It's fine. Anyway, in this big bowl, I have measured the flour. I'm using all-purpose flour. They say to use Maida flour. I don't know if that's how they pronounce it, but that is basically all-purpose flour. It's a more refined flour, not a whole wheat. I'm adding some fine sea salt to this, and we are sifting it as the recipe requests. It's a bit much, but it was all by weight, so I did weigh it this way. This will take a minute. I think some of my salt is caught. I'm just going to dump it in. Not fine enough to go through here. All right, I'm going to set this aside. I don't think I'm going to need this again. So now we're going to add all the wet ingredients here. I've measured the flour, and I'm going to add, there's an egg in this, which I was kind of surprised that there was an egg in naan, but I'm going to go ahead and put the egg in with the water. I'm going to give that a little head start of whisking. So as you can see, it says to do it in a large jug. This is what I chose to use, but that's not too bad. And then we're going to add some milk. I measured this by weight. It's about the same. It's about the same. I'm not sure about the milliliter measurements on these things. I always trust them for the cups, but I rarely use it for the milliliter. So I did that by weight for both the water and the milk. We also need to add, this is some sugar. It calls for caster sugar. I just use granulated. I think caster sugar might be a little bit finer than our granulated sugar. And baking powder. Give that a whisk. Now we're going to, I am going to use, let me make sure I don't have bits of baking powder. There we go. Now it says to use a round bladed knife. We're supposed to make a well in the middle. I'm going to use this dough whisk just because, well, I'm more comfortable using this dough whisk than just, I guess it would be like a butter knife. So, made a well, got our wet ingredients. I'm going to pour all of the wet ingredients into the well. There we go. And I'm going to sort of gradually incorporate the flour with my dough whisk or a round bladed knife. I think that's everything I can do with this whisk for now. But we do have to knead this with our hands. So we're supposed to knead with our hands into a soft, smooth dough. It should take about 5 minutes. And it's supposed to be soft and slightly sticky. I'm just going to try to get all of this flour incorporated. At this point, it seems like a little too much flour, but hopefully it will all work in. That was a lot of work. I got all of the flour incorporated, and it is not super sticky. It's not super smooth either, but I'm going to call that good. We need to let this rest for 10 minutes. My timer went off, so it's been 10 minutes. And I am going to put on gloves for this part because I definitely need to use both my hands because we're supposed to knead this vigorously, supposedly for 30 seconds. I'm not sure that that will do it. I think I might need to go a little bit longer because I'm not sure I got it smooth enough in the beginning. So we're supposed to drizzle oil over the top, and now we're supposed to knead this into our dough. And I just didn't want to get that all in my... I want to get this out of the bowl and see if I can knead it a little more effectively on my counter, which I will of course have to clean with soap. I'm supposed to get it back into a neat, smooth ball. So I think once I get it there, I'll be done. But when I'm done, we're going to have to oil the work surface again to roll these out. All right. I think that's the best I'm going to do. I'm going to wash my bowl because we're supposed to put it into a clean bowl. And then we're supposed to cover it with a clean, damp tea towel and let it rest for 2 hours. So let me wash my bowl, get this set up, and we'll see you in a couple hours. It's been 2 hours. Our naan has been resting. It's not yeast, not a yeasted dough, so it won't rise really. I have a baking sheet here, and I'm supposed to lightly oil it. So I have a oil sprayer, which I'm just gonna spray the sheet. That's good enough for me. And I'm supposed to make 70-gram balls of dough at this point. It's supposed to make 10. So I'm kind of going to guesstimate what that's going to be. And we'll see. Have my scale over here with a plate on it. And let's see. That is... Really? That is 70 grams. I couldn't do that again if you asked me to. So I'm going to do the same thing I do when I make yeast rolls to kind of make it into a ball. I think they say roll it into a neat ball. So there we go, a neat ball. And I'm going to do that 10 times, I guess. All right. Okay, now this can go in the dishwasher. This gets covered with plastic wrap, and we wait for another 30 minutes. It's been about 30 minutes. Now the problem with this is we have to roll these out, let them sit for a minute, and then cook them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that with one and show you guys. And then I'm going to do the rest because I'll be back and forth and back and forth. And so we'll have to move all of our filming equipment over there to cook them because, yeah. I have a cast iron pan. You can use any pan that can go under your broiler. Heating on the stove. They say to turn it as high as it will go. I've got mine on about medium because it gets up to 400 or so degrees. During the 1 minute wait, I will turn it up a little bit. The goal for me is about 500 degrees. So I've got that going. I've got my oven broiler on as high as it will go. They call it the grill. In the US, we call it the broiler. So there's that. There's Crumption. There's a lot of dog stuff going on. Whatever. So I'm ready to do one. And what I have to do is oil my surface lightly. I'm also going to oil my rolling pin because this is a relatively new one and it's kind of, you can kind of feel the wood grain on it. And it's not a bad idea to oil your wood. Anyway, usually I use mineral oil, food grade mineral oil, but this will be fine for now. We'll wash it. I have a 2 millimeter, which is really, really thin because we're supposed to roll these 2 millimeters thick. So that seems like hardly anything. So I've got to take a ball of dough and roll it into an oval. I think I want my ovals a little wider. Good thing is it's not sticking to anything, but I think it tends to sort of pull back a little bit. So these are not going to be as large as I expected because they won't stay. They're kind of pulling back. Anyway, they will puff for sure. That is expected. We hope it puffs. Anyway, I'm going to call that good. Now we're ready to go. Let it rest for a minute and then cook it. So we're going to get everything set up to cook, and by then it'll be time to cook it. Now, my pan, my stove, medium heat. This pan is about 500 degrees. That seems about right. I'm going to lay this in.
Hold up.
I'm going to lay this in the pan. I'm going to count to 20, and then I'm going to put it under the broiler for 30 seconds. And that should be done. So. All right. Into the oven. Okay. It's been 30 seconds. There we have. It's not really crispy or brown on that side. It is crispy and brown on that side. I'm going to take a quick look and make sure I know what I'm doing. You should let it color a little. I think I'm just going to let it color a little on the... There we go. That looks like I would expect. So put it on a plate with a tea towel and wrap it up. And now I'm going to do it again 12 more times. So you won't see that, but we'll show you what they look like when we're all done and let you know what we think. On this episode of Cooking the Books with Heather, you watched me make naan from the Dishoom cookbook. It was time consuming, but still pretty easy. It's not a yeasted dough, but it does require time to let the dough rest. I think I made 12 instead of 10, measuring it out almost exactly to the gram by the 70 grams that the recipe says. And I did measure things as much as possible by weight, so you might get more. They were relatively small. They weren't huge naan, but they were not tiny. I mean, I think it was perfect for one person to eat one. I think I ended up cooking mine in the oven for about 30 seconds after they had been cooked on the stove. I did forget a step. I forgot to brush them with melted butter before I served them. But they were still really good with or without, and they were soft. Mine were nice and flaky. I tried to get a picture of that where you could see that it was really flaky inside. So it wasn't puffy like some naan, especially the stuff that I buy in the grocery store is often more puffy than flaky. But I really enjoyed it. In fact, everyone really enjoyed it, but it's bread. Most everybody loves bread. Everybody I know likes bread. But what I'm really looking forward to is now that I've made the base recipe, and you make that, you make that just like I've made it up until the rolling step. So you make the balls of dough just like this, and then it has variations on that recipe. You can make crispy sesame and onion seed. You can make garlic naan, which we always love to order when we go to an Indian restaurant, or you can make cheese naan, and I think that might be what I make the next time I get around to making naan. So yeah, if you have made this recipe, let me know in the comments down below how yours turned out. I think mine turned out really well. I was very happy with this recipe. So, and if you've enjoyed watching me make this, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and come back and watch me make something else next week.